Hi. I said I was going to be doing this. Speak So Well encouraged me. Hey, Finity, to come on here every day. So, this is, I think, the first week I've been on Tuesday through Friday. Wow. It's been great to see people. How are you doing today, Finity? I went on a few minutes early, so I was like, I'm anxious to get going. So I'm just going to talk about what I've been getting. I've been getting so many downloads. It's been like I'm in California, and on one part of our state we have fires raging, and then where I am, we've had a whole bunch of rain, then sun, and then we've had some minor earthquakes. So it's been very interesting energy. A lot has been going on seismically, energetically, through the weather, solar flares and all that. Hi. Happy Friday. So how have you guys been doing? I don't remember where everybody's from, so I always ask everybody to tell me again. Where are you guys located? I'm in Northern California right now, originally from in the United States, and it is 2:12 here in the afternoon. What time is it where you are? It's amazing. You're in the UK, London. What time is it there right now? Having some tea in one of my favorite mugs. I'm really into Mary Poppins. So, actually, this is the second one of these cups because the other one broke and I was like so sad. But then it was replaced by the person who accidentally broke it. It was just an accident. And it reminds me of Mary Poppins, like that. That just because something breaks doesn't mean that you can't make something out of it. 22. So 22 is I'm from the United States. We're really bad with those numbers. Let's see. 22 is 22 is 2 hours before the new day. So 10. Yeah. Okay, it took me a little while. I know I'm at a disadvantage. We don't use metric. We don't use the 24-hour clock. It puts us really behind because we're constantly having to do math. And then I don't know about in the UK, but they made new math here, and I was like, okay, what was wrong with the math that worked for everybody else? They're always trying to make things difficult for us. It's like people here feel like they don't know anything, and I'm like, well, you have to figure out a whole bunch of stuff that other people don't, because their countries make a little more sense. So maybe there's a lot of confusion. I did get there's a shift going on right now, a huge shift. I don't know if anyone else is feeling it. Tomorrow is 1/11, and then the year is 10, so that's 1111. That's a big shift. Today is 1/10/10, so that's also more. We're moving in the shift. I've been feeling it really strongly. It feels like a lot's going on energetically. Like I wore purple today, and I was gonna wear blue, but I was like, no, purple. And then I got this card, and it's about magic. Magic is just something we can't explain. People used to think science was magic, that weather was magic, and it is, but not in the way they mean. So people have now equated things we don't understand as magic than something to be afraid of. And there's a shift in that thinking. Yeah, magic with a K. Yeah, there's a completely different magic with a C is different than magic with a K. It's just that one letter, but it has a different meaning. So there's been a shift, and this is I'm sorry, it's 9. We're the year of 9. So the shift is happening in 9, which is our year. And I'm getting that we need to really focus on our home life, like focus really in on what is we've gone through a crossroads. And so where is your home? You know, like, where is your foundation? Like, when you're here, that's you. That should be in your heart space, but that takes a lot of work. And I think that's what the shift is. Instead of the solar plexus energy of doing, and manifesting and being individualistic, now it's about shifting into a more heart-centered manifestation, and really focusing on that so that we can create in the world. Just because we don't understand it doesn't mean it's something bad. It just means that we have to be curious, and we have to be able to make mistakes, and we have to not get attached to mistakes. Like, oh, I made a mistake. Well, how are you going to learn anything? Do you know, like, when I was learning to ride a bike, my dad was a car painter, like a really good one, an artist, and he hand painted me a bike. And I was so proud, and I was learning to ride, and I learned really quickly. But the first time I was out by myself, I got the worst injury. There weren't chain guards back then, so my leg was torn up. I was bleeding, and I just left my bike there. This bike that I loved so much. And I went home, and he's like, "Where's your bike?" And I'm bleeding, and I'm like, "Dad, come on." And he's like, "Where's your bike?" And then he made me go to my bike, get back on it, and ride while I was all bloody. And I really appreciated it, actually, because it got me to realize that, I could have just given up, and that probably would have set the stage for my life. Like, oh, I got hurt, I fell off the bike, I just left it there, this thing I loved, because I was in pain. And instead, he was like, "No, you're getting back on this bike, and you're going to get over your fears." And I'm so grateful he did. That's the tough love we get from the universe. That's that love we get from the universe of being like, "No, you're stronger than that. Get your butt back on the bike and, sail, like, go through this." Hey, Alley Cat. Okay, so now I'm going to, interact with you guys now that I gave you the energy I've been getting. Hi, I'm so glad you guys are here. I love this collective. I've been thinking about, I'm like, Speak So Well is the reason that I'm here again, because, hi, Sage, because Speak So Well is like, you should go on every day. And then did that in these forums. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And I'm realizing it doesn't have to be perfect. I didn't do a lot of the stuff I normally do to get ready for things, and that's okay. Because you are good enough showing up by yourself. You're showing up as a high priestess. You don't need to do a whole bunch of stuff. I want you guys to remember that. Like, you showed up today. You showed up in your life. You're taking each moment, and you're not giving up. You're not just going, okay, I got hurt, I'm going to stay inside. You're making ventures, you're making steps, you're getting out of bed. Sometimes it's all you can do. I've been through some very hard times, and it was like, okay, today, if I get out of bed and I take a shower or brush my teeth, I've had a good day. And we have moments like that. We have times like that. And it isn't that we fall down, it's that we get back up. And you guys are really showing up as the high priestess and the magician. So, like, you guys are remembering that. It's like we all fall down. We all have days where literally the only thing we can do is open our eyes that day. And some of us have children or pets, and so we're like, we got to get up at least to do those things. But wow, you did that. Like, some people just give up. And we forget that that energy is something we're doing. Wow, way to go. Like, there are a lot of people who just don't get up. They don't go and take care of their kids or their pets or themselves. And you guys did that. You guys do that. Okay. So I want to read, let's see, the first person in here was Finity, but I don't know if you're still here. I don't see you. So I'm going to do I Cordy. Do you have a question? Hey, everybody. Hi, Cheryl. I haven't seen you for a while. Nice to see you. So if I is still here, yeah, that's great. Yes, great. I. Yes, I've been doing my day to day in stages to complete things. Exactly. Sometimes we have to take little bites and we're like, oh, I got to eat this entire elephant. You know that analogy, maybe. It's one bite at a time. If you do that, I'm so proud of you. Like, seriously, there have been days I'm like, okay, I got up today, I took care of my kids, or I got up today and I did my day, I took a shower, brushed my teeth, did all those things. So, what is your, yes, and being grateful. I've been feeling so grateful lately. I was like thinking, oh, I'm not doing enough of this or that. And then I was like, oh my gosh, the fact that I can come on here and now for 4 days straight and do that. Yes, I do have so many, especially koalas, but other stuff back there. So just general, to be honest. Okay, so I'm gonna get you one of these cards because I've been getting a lot from them and maybe it'll give you worried about my health. Okay, yeah. You know what? And I came on here because I have a condition where my stomach got paralyzed and I could not eat solid food for 7 years. Not anything. At some points I couldn't drink water. I was literally starving. And now today, that's what I wanted to manifest. I was like, I want to eat again. God, I want to eat again. I don't want to be sticks, just bones. I had lost over 30% of my body weight. And I was losing pounds by the day. It was horrible. And people were always like, oh, I want to be skinny. I'm like, be careful what you wish for. And so my manifestation was being able to eat, which I started being able to do about almost 3 years ago now, and not look like a stick. And I can think clearer. It's just amazing. It's just like manifestation is different for everyone. And I want to tell you, whatever you're going through health-wise right now, just keep that in mind, like incrementally, what do you want to manifest? Because each time you're dealing with a health problem. Okay, so you got water, and water is about, and it's also 18, which is number 9, the year we're in. And what I get about this is like, our health is something that flows. If it's not in balance, if it's running up against things, it's one of those things that can completely knock off the whole system. It can knock off your mental state. It can do all sorts of things. Pancreatitis. Oh, yeah, it is rough. Like, people are always like, hi, Jamal. Hi, Zer. Yeah, today we're just doing coffee. I'm enjoying these. Like I said, I've had more health problems than I care to mention. But what I'm realizing is, like, each day that I do something that I didn't think I could do before, it's a manifestation of what I want. Like, I literally was just like, I want to survive. I want to be able to eat. I want to be able to be around people. I want to be able to take care of my kids again. I want to be able to eventually cook. Because think about, okay, so you got the 10 of Swords. What I get here is there's some kind of, are you having pain? There seems to be a lot of fire, like a stabbing pain, something that's causing you to feel fire going up your system. Like, I feel like this is for I feel like this, I know that's what's on the card, but maybe something, I have Crohn's disease. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Fed through to, I was tested for Crohn's because they don't know what the heck's wrong with me. So I understand that pain. I understand that level of pain. I've had many operations looking for what's going on. But that pain, it is an excruciating pain that you can't describe to anyone. It is like unimaginable. It feels like you're literally dying. And the amount of fire, the amount of stuff it's bringing up is it feels like your world can't, you're always dependent on your system. You can't plan things. It feels like kind of an ending to you when you're in that kind of pain. And so I feel like there's this constant need to like quench this fire that's going on within your system. And that's going to need to go very slow. Like, I feel like the resistance of like, I resisted it. I was getting fit for a feeding tube. And I was like, oh God, okay. And so I really had to change the way I was thinking about each day, each thing I was doing. I was like, wow, I'm choosing to do this to make my life better. I could give up. I could be in a state of like, wow, this is my life now. I have to always stay near a bathroom. I have to always make sure that I cancel. I had to cancel with everyone all the time. And I understand that level of like, how do I plan a life? How do I interact with people? I'm tired of explaining to people why I can't do things or why I have to cancel or why I don't show up. It's not because you're selfish. It's because you're literally surviving. And I keep getting this energy of like, that's what your lesson is right now. That's what your truth is right now. To learn the lesson that you being here just today, getting through what you're going through, means you're a warrior. You've been through a war. Your body turned on you and you had to deal with that. I started calling my gastroparesis, my stomach being paralyzed, Gus, instead of going, I feel like this. I named it and said, I don't like you, Gus, over and over again. And so what I see here is going like with the water, you're going to have to go with each moment. How painful it is, feel it. Identify and go, wow, I'm freaking strong. Like, I see other people with my disorder, they gave up or they continued to eat things that made them sicker and sicker and sicker. And each choice you make for your health is actually your part of your journey. It's trying to teach you to accept what it is and not resist it. And that's really hard. It's really like, it feels like every moment when you're in that kind of pain, here's a clock tower. It feels like every moment is, thank you, Cheryl. Oh, thanks. It feels like every moment that you're in that sort of pain, and this could be emotional for other people, but if you have a physical pain that you cannot get away from, you have to learn to stop fighting the wave. You have to learn to go with it and realize that I got through this moment. Yeah, 20 years now. My issues started in late 2012, and now we're here 13 years later, and it feels like an eternity. You have to kind of go with the flow that your life is not the same as it was. I think a lot of us that are chronically ill, we go, oh, but I used to be able to do this, and I used to be able to do that, and now this person is upset with me, and now that person is upset with me. And, I can't plan on anything. Okay, that's your new life. And you could say, it's not fair, but it's not going to change that it's happening. So changing, how are you feeling? I'm in pain every single day. Having gastroparesis is, it's called silent starvation. I really love fruit and vegetables. I'm not allowed to eat any fiber. So that is very painful, and I do it anyway. I love them, and then I feel the pain, but I'm in constant pain. It destroyed a lot of my organs, and but I'm so grateful to be here. Like, I was told I was going to die within a very short period of time in 2016, and I was like, no, I'm not. And so even the worst days when I'm having the worst symptoms and I'm in the worst pain and I'm curled up in a ball, I'm like, okay, well, I'm here. Thank God. And thank God I'm here. And yeah, it changes your perspective. It changes your perspective of, but thank you. I don't feel sorry for myself, though. I actually feel like I was given a gift, because by the time COVID came around, I ended up getting COVID on top of all this. And I was able to survive. I was able to survive the isolation. I had been restricted to being at home most of the time because my immune system was so low. And I was like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I can handle this. There were no doctors to help and stuff. And I was able to manage that. So I see that I was like given a gift ahead of time to survive something even harder. And if you change your perspective about why things aren't happening to us, they're happening for us, whether we see the perspective of it now. And I'm saying that from coming from a place of excruciating pain. Like pain, starvation, now I have a perspective of people who starve and cannot drink water or get water or have no access to food. It changes your mentality. It changes your focus on life, like what truly is important in life. It was, seeing my children grow up. I was like, I'm not leaving my kids. And I feel like, and my partner, I was like, no, I cannot leave these people. Thank you so much. And hey, if you ever want to talk, please reach out. I completely understand what you're going through from my own perspective. I don't know what it's like for you, but I've fallen down so many times. I begged. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I can't take it anymore. And so with the Hermit here, this is very interesting. This water is blue. And in the Hermit card, it's usually like a light, but this is blue light. And so that's your truth. The Hermit is number 9, which is this year. And this is number 9 too. So this is about your truth being your light. Your personal truth is something other people don't have. And actually, whether you realize it or not, it's given you a perspective that you could have never gotten any other way. And you're a different person than you would have been. And the universe was like, I think you're strong enough. I want you to go on this path. I want you to have a higher perspective. I want you to understand what life truly is about. And when you're given that gift of like, you can handle something by the divine, it's actually not something done to you, it's done for you. And I really appreciated it. I learned to appreciate it through wanting to die all the time because of the pain. But I learned to really appreciate every single thing I can do. Now when I can eat something after, not eating any solid food for 7 years, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is the most amazing. I didn't think it was going to happen. I had faith, but I didn't know it was going to happen. What's going on, Allie? Let me see what you're saying. Hi, Betty Boop. Okay. I'm just reading what you guys are saying. Okay. I'm going to, Cheryl, would you like a reading after finding out I've got so many problems? But see, that's what I was talking about with the manifestation video. One person's manifestation is not someone else's manifestation. I could care less at this point about money and things and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, I can eat. Oh my God, I can see my kids. Oh my God, I can see my partner. Oh my gosh, I can see my pets. Oh my gosh, I got up today. Wow, this is amazing. That is such a change in perspective. So manifestation is different for everyone. And I do feel that it works. I do feel that it works. It just is on someone else's time, not yours. Okay, so what would you like a reading about? Can you please, what did you say speak so well? Some kind of tunnel. Is it me? Yeah, I saw the light. It was very interesting. I was like, oh, okay. No, I'm not ready to go. I'm not ready to go. Yeah, I begged and begged, and then I was like given the chance, and I was like, no, I'm not ready to go. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked for that. Okay, so Cheryl, what would you like to know today? Is there something in particular you would like to know? Pick a card, please. Okay. Gratitude and new life. We were just talking about this. So what I'm getting is like, your gratitude level every day, when you're really thinking about what at the base of you, what at the core of you you're grateful for, is going to bring you a new life. Is going to bring you a stronger foundation. Like, I think we forget. We're like, oh God, this happened to me and that happened to me, and you know, this person did that to me. It's like, wow, what are you grateful for? Like, when our minds go there, like thinking about like, wow, you know, I got to do this, I did this. And so, where are you in that gratitude process? Are you manifesting? Because, see, this is 38, which adds up to an 8, which is infinity, which is that it's on the top of Magician card. It's in a whole bunch of the cards. So it's about manifestation. Like, it really starts with you. It really starts with what you're putting your focus in, your energy. Your energy is very strong. We're learning so much through science lately that we are very energetic. We actually have a resonance, a field in what we, you can even do this with water. There's experiments where water is impacted by anger. You can scream at water and it'll have a different effect. So think about that, like what you're putting out into the world and what you're putting out when you're just within yourself is creating your reality. Are you on any karmic path? See, this is a number 8 too. Do you have karmic relationships that you're spending your precious energy on every day? Because you can't have a new life, you can't have a new foundation unless you get rid of those. So, oh wow, okay, see, we got new life and we got the 4 of Wands, which is about the foundation. So I'm getting this very strongly. You can go in different directions. You could go down the stormy path and continue to interact with people that don't resonate with you, or you can just like kind of smile and not condescendingly, but just be like, okay, I'm gonna listen to you. But inside you're meditating. Inside you're keeping yourself very calm. Like, see how this purple is really deep, and you're like kind of staying more in this kind of neutral tone of like, I'm not going to go there. And it's another 4. So what I see here is this is the decision you've got to make at every point. What are you going to do? Which direction are you going to go towards? Are you going to go towards a direction of peace and stability and gratitude, or are you going to go down the more dramatic, stormy path? Are you going to make your own energy? Or are you going to make energy with others, no matter if it's negative or positive, to feed yourself? Kind of like junk food versus, you know, healthy food. Are you going to make something at home that's healthy for you? If you have issues with salt, or if you have issues with certain ingredients, like, you can guarantee that you're going to be fine if you take the time and make that meal at home, versus if you just go grab something. Then it's kind of out of your control. Okay. And let's see. Ooh. So, yeah, like, this is the choice between the 3 of Swords energy and the Lover's energy. This is a shift right now. Everyone's going through it. So we're reaching a point where our resonance, who we are, cannot continue on the same path. We have to choose to divert and go down this continued path of karmics and people who are hurting us and we're giving our energy to, or we have to choose ourselves and go down the loving path, and that will attract more people like us. But we might have to go down that alone, because we have to disengage from this karmic yucky energy. It does give a lot of power. It's constantly feeding itself, but it is like fast food versus you know, home cooking. And, or, you know, like me, every day, even though, because I can eat limited amounts of food. When I say I can eat, it does not mean I can eat regularly. So I have like 5 cups right now around me, because I do mostly a liquid diet. And not by like, oh, because I want to. It's because I want to live. And so this is a shake I've been drinking for years. And instead of thinking like, oh my God, I have to drink the same thing every day. What a sucky life. I'm like, wow, I get to be alive today. Yay. Oh, you guys are talking about all sorts of stuff I want to see. Like, instantly back in my body. I'm missing the conversation. Let's see. Yes, I am an Aquarius. Yay, you have, Cheryl. That's great. You started doing a gratitude meditation every morning. That's wonderful. That is, and that's one of those things that you can start off small. You can just actually say it in your head, eventually write it down. It's one of those things that you can be grateful at every moment. And if you realize you're not feeling grateful, there you go. As soon as you realize it, you can show gratitude. Because life is a miracle. It is really a miracle. Think about that. Like now we know it's science. So, a sperm and an egg come together and all sorts of stuff could go wrong, but it doesn't. Most of the time it doesn't. And even when it goes wrong, that person has just different traits, or they were not going to be able to survive. And so nature's amazing like that. It's going, well, we're going to come together. We're going to create something out of two different things, and it's going to show up as a human being. Like, wow, we're all here. That's incredible. Okay, I am going. You had a I had a near-death experience too. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy? You can't explain it to someone. It's just like time is so different. But it's pretty amazing. It makes you see the world so differently, and you can't ever see it again the same way. I would never want to. It's pretty incredible. Hi. So is Finity still here? Because I was going to do your reading. I'm getting so into talking to you guys and hanging out. So I'm thinking, Speak So Well had a great idea. I'm going to try for a week. I'm going to go on every day for one of these coffee hours for an hour. And so I don't wear myself out. And then, and if I can do it, great. If I can't and I need to adjust, then we'll do that together. Okay, Finity. Okay, you nominate. Oh, thank you, Deja Vu. I really appreciate that. Okay, so you've been nominated for a reading. Rikir, Rikir. Hi, what would you like a reading about? What's the question? Now you guys are talking about diets. I've done the Atkins diet. I did the Slim Fast diet back in the day. I'm old. It's been around for a while. I would love to do Boost and Ensure. I'm allergic to palm oil, which is in almost all the regular protein shake things. So I had to find one that I could actually eat without getting poisoned. Hi, I'm a single parent going through divorce. Will everything be okay? And is divorce the right decision? Yes, you will be fine. I went through that with a very, very narcissistic person, and it was awful. I didn't think it was going to be awful. What I'm getting very clearly is that you need to start a community or find a community of people that are going through what you're going through, so that you understand that what you're going through is completely normal, and what this person is going to put you through, what it's going to be like to be a single parent. It really does help. So friendship is really important, really grounding yourself with a community that understands, even if it's online. But, getting together with other single parents, you guys, they have single parent outings. They have single parent support groups where you guys can switch babysitting or cleaning each other's houses, because sometimes it's easier to clean someone else's house than your own. But we all get overwhelmed by that. Help with each other's pets. There's all these great community things that you can find in almost any community. And even if you just find it online, then you know that you're not unusual, that you're not the only person going through this feeling. Like, this has been trucked before. This is a journey that many of us have gone through. And that's where your foundation. See, we have number 13. So 13 is also the death card and the rebirth card. So thinking of this as, yes, you have to mourn your life as a couple, as a unit like that. But that's giving you an opportunity to have a rebirth of you. You haven't been you in a very long time. And just because you have kids there, you can still be you. So, and it looks like a big you. Shed the tears and see that this is an opportunity. Like, this to me reminds me of like a hole you could dig and then put a seed in and it would grow. This is an opportunity. Shedding those tears will kind of release a lot of, and really grieving. That's a death. That's an ending. When you go through a divorce, it's the ending. You have to feel all the feelings of, we all feel feelings of like we failed, and that we didn't succeed at this one fundamental thing. And so how am I supposed to move forward? How am I supposed to teach my child that relationships can be healthy? And that starts with your relationship with yourself. My oldest told me after I was getting a divorce, wow, you seem so happy. I haven't heard you laugh like that in so long. And I was like, wow, I had been giving and giving to this relationship. And then when it was over, I felt devastated. But I started to remember who I was. And I started seeing that I had lost myself within that relationship. So it's an opportunity to grow. And so that the next relationship you have, because you will have a relationship, it just happens. We have relationships even with friends. It was an opportunity for me to go, what was my part in this? And not discount everything they did, but what was my part and what do I want to teach my children about me, about who I am, and about how life is. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I mean, this is the two energies that popped out for you. And this is about deception. This is about things being said. This is about harm being done. And this is the King of Pentacles. It's about abundance. And I think we focus a lot on this when we go through divorces, and now we're a single parent. Wow. Can you believe that? You thought you were going to be having someone there this entire time, and now it's just you. That means that you also have control over what your child's being exposed to. Because I know in my case, my child was being exposed to things that I didn't want them to. And now I had a lot more control. So I started seeing that actually I can control the narrative of my life now. When I had another person, I can actually manifest this. But you have to deal with the fact that you're feeling this betrayal. Even of yourself. It's just like, oh man, could I have done something different? Okay, we'll learn from that, but don't look towards the past like he's doing. Like, really see your abundance, your capability. You're doing that. You're a single parent. Wow, that is commendable. You have a higher value, honestly, because you can do something that most people can't do by themselves. I have a huge, huge respect for single parents, male or female, doesn't matter, or non-binary, trans, it doesn't matter. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Okay, so, it's an awful journey. It is a death journey. It is like, it's like, oh my God, this is devastation. There is nothing that can be planted there. You have to start all over. And that's hard. It is hard to start over. And then it's hard for you to have your kids watch you start over. But that's actually a vulnerability where you can share with your children, like, don't dump on them. Trauma dumping is not good. It perpetuates trauma. But like, mom or dad makes mistakes too. Oh my gosh, I'm still learning. And I want to learn with you. And they have a lot of guidance because they saw everything, whether we realize it or not. They heard everything, felt everything. Their job is, because they're completely dependent on us, is to observe every single thing we do and say, and the way we're feeling. And so now your kids have the opportunity to see you as this strong, badass person. Like weren't going to get to see you that. You were always going to be in the couple. And now it's just you. So whether you fail or you succeed, that's all on you, and your kids are saying that. Like that I always try to remember that. Like, have dignity. Show my children the way I want them to, interact in the world. And it kept me on course. There were times during my entire kid's nap, because my other child was very little, still kind of a baby, when I was going through this. And I was like, they take a nap. If I wasn't at work, I would literally just be crying. And then I would be like, okay. And then I picked a TV series and I couldn't sleep. And I would just watch it and I'd be like, this is what I can do today. And whatever you do is on you. Wow. You're a widower. That's really hard. Your kids, I commend you. I know a dear close friend of mine passed during the pandemic, not of COVID, and her husband, who was a dear friend, is raising their kids. And it's, I couldn't be prouder of him. And I know that she is looking down at him all the time. Okay, so who is next? Let's see. Let's see. Who has been talking to people and helping? That is what I like seeing. I'm really enjoying these coffee hours with you guys. Let's see. Has anybody want to nominate anyone? It is 2:53 p.m. in California. Is there anyone that has a very specific question? This is how I'm going to do this now. If you have a very specific question you want me to answer, put it in the comments. And if I see a question that I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a direct hit on, I will answer that question. I think that's going to be the way I do it today. Now it's dark in here since I put... So if whoever puts a question in there and I'm like, yeah, I'm getting direct. With opening to my pet. I don't know what that means. Is your name Jocelyn? Jocelyn. Oh, jeez. I don't know what's wrong with my reading ability. Okay, well, Allie, you've been interacting in the comments a lot, and I'm just going to quickly go over your answer. I got the Empress and the Fool, and that's the energy I'm getting. You have the power all along, but you're following like your logic a little too much, like this step in front of the other, and I have to learn these lessons in order to be on this path. And the universe is kind of like, remember, you're supposed to be in the Fool's energy, that carefree, that trusting energy. And when you believe, the manifestation will come in. When you truly believe it, there's something you're going through. Yes. Okay, you're a Virgo. Yeah. It's funny because my oldest is a Virgo, and my ex-husband and a whole bunch of people that I've had in my life are Virgos. So I do like them. So don't take that any other way. But I do see they get in their head so much and they forget that they're on the ground. Remember, like here are the shoes in the air, the full energy is kind of floating here, like she's not on the ground. So making sure that your energy is very grounded, because yes, Virgos can get very much in their head. And so they have to remember to bring it back down and not spin out of control, because that intellect, that very intelligent mind, can get kind of dissociated when it's not grounded. And so you got to remember you're an earth sign. So ground yourself. That's very important, not to get too much in your head. You can help it though. You can. See, you're saying that it's out of your control. And so this is the path. This is realizing that it's not about control. It's about acknowledging the way your brain works, the way your energy works, and working with it and finding practices and things to keep yourself grounded. Like, what's the best way to ground in snowy weather? The best way to ground in snowy weather, get a blast of cold air. It's going to knock you right in, and then do a meditation in your house. Like, just like face that cold air, because it's going to knock you into your body. It's going to like be like, oh, okay, here I am. And you don't have to, people do that with ice cubes, or they splash cold water on their face. It's just something to snap you into your body. Because, I'm an Aquarius, but luckily my rising is Capricorn, which is earth. Because I know a lot of people say Aquarius are really spacey and out there, but I live in the world as a Capricorn. So I'm just like, okay, but I have to remember not to go out on my crazy Aquarius loops of knowing like how physics works and quantum verses and stuff like that. I've been trying subliminals to reprogram my consciousness. Yeah, but that might not be in your face enough. You might really need to knock yourself out. Subliminals are great if you're needing something. I mean, keep that up. Great if that's working for you. But I'm saying doing something very physical, like what are some other techniques? Hey, Speak So Well. Do you have any techniques that work really well for grounding? Because I'm blanking right now. I walk to work and with my dog in any weather. Okay, that's great. So then, but when you're feeling that cold, feel it. Like, don't just go, oh, okay, I can deal with this. No, it's just like, oh, yeah. And yoga is amazing. And I used to think people were just like, so I have all these health problems. I have a condition called EDS on top of everything, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. That's why I'm super like stretchy and weird. But people would go, oh, yoga. And I resisted it until I started doing yoga, because I had to learn. Mine was different. I had to learn to not overstretch, flex. I had to learn to control my body in a different way. And so I didn't understand that. So it's different for each of us. Play in the dirt. Yeah, if you don't have dirt though, play in the snow. Stick your hand in that snow, feel it like an ice cube, and be like, whew, and then like really feel your body. Where are you feeling pain in your hand from the cold? Are you feeling a bite in your nose? Where are you feeling it? And feel that, really ground yourself in there. Yeah, the trees could probably use it in the winter, definitely. What is the 5? Oh, okay. So I use a tool, 5 seconds of where you're like, okay, this is the worst possible outcome to this scenario. This is something I'm afraid of. If I have to go talk to someone, or tell them a truth, or go do some unpleasant thing. For me, sometimes it's just calling administrators at schools and stuff. And so I'm like, okay, I sit there and I'm like, what is the worst thing that could happen? And I let it hit me, like I imagine it, like they like look at me like I'm sweet. Here, we're back. Hey, we're back. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't like, healing myself. I'm totally agree with you on that. I do not like plug electric healing mats. I tried to sleep on, hey Katie, I tried to sleep on one, and it literally made my sleeping the worst night of sleep I've ever had in my life. So yeah, I think the electrical impulses is going to keep you activated. So if you're having trouble staying, like with energy and that's different. But some people sleep on those. Earthing shoes are great, or just going barefoot every so often. We're not doing a list today. This is just coffee with me. Did I go blank for other people? That was weird. That was very strange. I could not see anyone. I mean, well, I couldn't see what was going on. Oh, yeah, I'm very sensitive to energies. Yeah, very, very sensitive. And I used to fight that. I used to be like, oh, God, I can't stand it. I go into a room and I know everybody's ailments and pain and what they were going through. And I'd be like, oh, God, this is like getting hit with, other times I'd go out dancing and I could just vibe off all this energy, positive energy. But I had to learn through practice. And it is a practice to see what's my energy, see what's others, and decide what I want to interact with. It's taken a lot of work. Yeah, it was glitch. That was weird. Okay. I think the last person, let's see, who wants, okay, has anybody asked questions? Something happened to the live stream. That was weird. Okay, so put some questions in there. Put some questions in there. Yes, we are shallow breathers. We do not realize that we're always sucking in our stomachs. We're always trying to look like a certain way that we don't realize that we're actually lowering the amount that we're breathing. And then when you're not breathing enough, you hyperventilate, which makes you feel anxious, which makes you think that you're actually in an anxious state when you're actually just not breathing correctly. And then when you regulate your breathing, it really does calm down your anxiety levels. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Okay, so who has a question? Yeah, staying in the center of our heads. I had to really learn to focus that I was like, I kept imagining, and I didn't know this was a real thing. Carl Sagan's, he had a show, and I hadn't seen it because it was before my time. But he had this cool place where it was the imagination ship or something like that, ship of imagination. And it was this white room, and then it had a big screen and it just looked out. That's how I kind of see my inner head space. And so it helped me because I can go in there, and no matter who's messing with me, no matter what the energy is, I'm like, no, I'm not interacting with you. You can stay out there. Okay, so who wants, let's see, how to escape a bad cycle? Change directions. This is who just asked that. Allie Porter. Change directions. Like literally, if you were going, I want you to imagine this. You're in a situation and you're interacting with someone and it is going badly. It doesn't feel good. You don't want to keep interacting with them. I literally want you to just walk out. Like, don't engage. Don't engage. Remove yourself. If you can't leave the room immediately, stop engaging. I want you to move out of this because that'll change the direction very quickly. The only way that it can keep building, the only way that path can continue on its way, that energy can keep growing, is if you interact with it. If you're just like, nope, imagine yourself in a boat in your head and you're like, I'm just on a smooth lake, and it's just like, no matter what anyone says to you, I mean, like if they're doing something physical to you, then stay calm as much as you can, then get to safety, get to calm waters, get to the shore. But if it's just someone talking to you, or you're interacting with someone and you're seeing the same cycle over and over and over again, like the infinity sign, like over and over, and you're like, oh my God, I just keep ending up back here. You're taking part in that cycle. So you can take the reins. You can let your intuition guide you. If it doesn't feel good, stop. Stop. I can't tell people enough. That is really literally the first step in changing direction. Stopping. Like, not just pausing and being like, okay, I'll do it now. Like when somebody asks you to do something and you don't want to do it, no. Or I'll let you know later. And you don't have to give someone a response, an answer when you're not ready. You have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to stop the cycle. And once you do, it'll all change very quickly. Like no one can make you do anything unless they're like physically making you do it. Again, that's a safety concern that can't be handled this way. But if it's an interaction, it is time to stop. And you have that power, you have that control. And I think we don't like realizing that we have control of it. We go into this spiral of cycles. We're like, I'm on a track. See, I'm on a track and it goes one place. It goes to one destination. No, you can stop it at any time. Just like if you were going into the woods, you know, climb a tree, change your perspective. Okay. Okay, Jocelyn, I'm going to answer your question. Will I be able to achieve my goal, or will it be best to continue with online? Party time, yeah. Okay. What I want you to do is think about both situations. And when you think about it, where do you feel it in your body? Do you feel like this love for what you're doing? You're like, oh yeah, I'm kind of iffy. And then when you say the other thing to yourself, does it feel good? Does it make your heart feel good? Because that's where your best direction, no matter where you go, when you're from your heart space, what's really driving you, what's firing you up, what's making you feel like wanting to embrace the world and be loving and put stuff out there. That's no matter which direction you go in there, it's going to lead to somewhere. So you have to decide. So what I got here is with spiritual cleansing, is you need to change. With 5 here, you need to change something in your mindset about how you're looking at this, and you'll be able to make the decision for yourself. Because if I tell you to go one direction or not, it's not going to be based on your choice. And so I'm getting the very strong thing is, but you have to be willing to feel it. You have to be willing to make the decision that's good for your heart and good for your way of manifesting versus what you like materially want. So make sure that you're like grounding yourself, making sure that it's coming from your passion, what really drives you, what makes you feel really good when you think about it, which direction is that? And that's where you'll have the protection. That's where you'll manifest. And, put an end to whatever wasn't working for you. If you realize that one of these options was not working for you, like let it go. It's gone. Don't keep revisiting it, because then you'll be diverting your attention, your energy from what you actually decided on. So, okay. Who else? Why are you feeling unmotivated and disorganized with plans not going well? What can I do to overcome this? Well, if you kept going down a road, and I'm just going to ask you this. If you kept going down a road and it kept leading to bad conditions, like here was another detour, here was another dead end, of course you would feel bad about those, because you're not looking at it from a higher perspective. You maybe need to plan more. I definitely get that you need to spend some time, like this bench here. If you just decided to build a bench and you didn't make a plan, it would not be much of a bench, would it? You'd probably fall on the ground. So in order to construct anything, you had to get the wood for this. You had to treat it so that it didn't get compromised by the weather. it sounds like you need to put the work in to the organization because you are being disorganized. You don't have things in rows. You don't have your ducks in a row. And so it's making you feel like you're what I noticed about being disorganized is I waste a lot of time trying to figure out why I'm not getting anywhere instead of taking the time to sit down and plan out. A lot of people don't want to plan. They want to just kind of like imagine and like, oh, wouldn't it be great if I had this manifestation? Wouldn't it be great if I had all this money or in a wonderful relationship? But you haven't done any planning about it. So that's just an idea in the sky. It's not grounded. It's not in touch with reality. And you got the nature spirits and the bench. So I think you need to go outside. And I really think you need to ask yourself, what do I want to feel? What do I want to have in my life? And how am I going to manifest that? And then put it down on paper, put it into action, because each step has to be taken. You can't just kind of like go with the breeze and stay up in the sky, because you're never going to go anywhere. So you got to decide if you're going to put in the work. And people want a quick fix. There isn't one. Why would you're going to get McDonald's food? You're going to get and people like that. But if you ate McDonald's every day, I'm sure you would feel awful. So you've got to put the effort in for that. That you learn how to cook, learn how temperatures work, learn how chemistry works because you're baking. You've got to learn these techniques, and you got to make mistakes. Oh yeah, I do have a rainbow on me. I think it's see, like I have this little cool rainbow koala. It's a crystal koala, and it sits here and casts rainbows on me. It's great. I love it. You got to add some fun. Well, if you can't stay committed to your plans, why would your plans stay committed to you? The universe is being like, well, you got to take some action. I think people don't misunderstand what manifestation is. It's you having the opportunities and then taking them and building and growing. It's not like you just walk into a place and they just hand you money. You know what you're going to do with that money? You're not going to know how to keep it. You're not going to know how to help it grow. Why would the universe give you something that you don't even know how to work? They're not going to get, the universe isn't going to give you manifestation if you haven't taken the time to work. It's shown that you will put in the work yourself. It's about opportunities, and it's what you do with them. So if you can't stay, okay, well, what did you do after you wrote it down? That's great. I love this slogan by G.I. Joe. Knowing's half the battle. Yep. Okay, you know what your plan is now. What's next? Have you put it into action? Have you taken, steps on your plan to build? Because you couldn't build a house like that. Oh, I want this house. It's not here. God, I'm not getting my manifestation. It's like, well, what have you done to actually manifest anything? So we're at an hour. I'm going to stay on a few more minutes because we had a glitch. But then, okay, see, I had money and lost it. But there are lessons. Exactly. So the universe was like, okay, here you go. And you say you're ready, but you didn't do the steps to be actually ready to manifest that money into more money, into abundance and stuff like that. You hadn't learned lessons that would actually teach you to grow something yourself. Like that whole thing, you can teach a man. You can give a man a fish, feed him for a day. You can teach a man to fish, and he'll eat for life and be able to feed other people. Like a lot of people are thinking manifestation is being given something. It's actually being given a seed, an opportunity. What are you going to do with it? So are you going to just let it die or not water it? Oh, it was fun for a few days, and now I haven't watered that plant, and I wonder why I don't have a tree. It's like, well, there you go. I'm so sorry, Jocelyn. That's been hard. Yeah. Okay. Is there anybody who has a question that I'll get to? Yeah, good. Your son's smart that he wanted to throw up when you gave him McDonald's. It is really gross. It's really toxic. I'm lucky in one way. I'm allergic to palm oil and it's in almost all their products, so it's actually literal poison to me. Most fast food places are. Um, okay, is there anyone who has a question? And I'll see if I get a hit on your energy. The universe is so undeniably supportive. If you want to fail, the universe would let you fail. If you want to succeed, it will let you succeed. Yes, it's like a good parent. It does not do the work for you. It does not take the lesson for you. It allows a safe way to experience the world and learn. And we have to fall down. We have to make mistakes. That is what, I mean, imagine if you were walking and you're trying to learn to walk and your parents just kept coming up to you and picking you up. You would never learn to walk. Of course, you're going to fall down. You're going to, but your parents, put, padding on things and safety stuff so you can explore safely and make mistakes, but that aren't deadly. The universe is giving us that option. And a lot of us are like, nah, I want the easy way. And then they end up getting hurt, and they go, oh, the universe is so cruel. Is it? Okay. Yes. Healing myself. Yes. I think you should hire an assistant. I think more than anything, it's not about necessarily this person helping you. It's showing that you're going to build a commitment, a relationship with someone else, and that's going to create more of a balanced energy. Sometimes we don't see everything like we don't see our blind spots. We don't see what's influencing our perception, and so it's important to have someone else's perspective, not just so that they can do the tasks you don't want to do, but working in concert with them. I'm not a big Oprah fan, but one thing I did like about her is she's involved in every single aspect of her business. She doesn't just go, okay, now I have money, and then, she's interacting. And I think that's very important to do, to have, because we don't always see what our shortcomings or our, what's getting in our way, what could come, and someone else can add here we've got 2 blueberries, can add their 2 cents here and give us a different perspective. Okay. Oh, they're the Urban Crow oracle cards. I really like them. It's actually, we have a lot of crows around here. And don't be worried, because an assistant is never going to replace you. They're an addition to you, because you're the anomaly. You're the one making this business, doing this. It's your idea. So no matter who tries to copy you or something, it will not have the resonance that you have. So I think people get very concerned about working with others, because they're like, they're going to steal my this, that, and the other. They may get a short burst if they do that, but they don't have what it takes to produce what you're doing. So there's no fear of that. You stand out from the crowd in that way. I know it's a risk, because you could be opening something and you could get something that you don't like. This person could be someone who you don't like and you can't work with, but you're the boss. So you're going to be like, respectfully, we just are not vibing. And I need someone who's going to help me stay in balance and keep things, my trajectory building and not take over. You're welcome. Okay, our time. Yes. Okay, one more person. Sorry, I'm having fun. I know Speak So Well is looking out for me, because Speak So Well has said that I should do this every day, but just do an hour, and I have a hard time stopping. So that's my issue. I overexert myself all the time. What I would say, VASUDHA, is that you have to decide, because, see, I split the deck a few times, and I got the 3 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles. So this is the 3 and 4 add up to 7. And what I'm seeing here is, yeah, you don't have to leave things behind, but you have to understand that now you're splitting your energy. You're splitting it in 2 different ways, or multiple different ways. And so you will not have as much energy to do that which you say you're focused on. So it's really up to you, but it will split your energy. It will split your energy output. Like, think about a battery. If you're charging 2 phones on the same battery, it's going to go, it's going to give each phone less. So, and if you're fine with that, if you both need, if you want to focus on that, that's fine. But just being aware that you are splitting your energy, you're diversifying it, and that can have good and bad impacts. So just keep that in mind. Earl Woods has a question. Hi, Cyber 1111. Okay, so what was your question, Earl Woods? I was frustrated to keep asking and wondering why. Okay, wondering why. What? Sorry, I'm reading. It's easy to miss things on here. Okay, maybe you'll ask again. Earl Woods, what is your question? I'm sorry, I totally missed it. What is your question, Earl Woods? Geez, I have a lot of cards coming out, Earl Woods, so I'd like to know what your question is. I'm not charging for them. If you donate, I am more likely to call on you or pick you because you're reserving my time. But these are coffee hours. I'm going to eventually do a member service, my business and ministry. Oh, yeah, I was getting that. You're building something. Yeah. Okay. I get it's yeah, this is making sure, so you're standing out as the King of Wands here. And to me, this is saying making sure with great power comes great responsibility. So as you build this foundation, because I kept getting the 3 of Pentacles and now I can't find it, but as you make sure that you are staying in the light, making sure that you are studying and always making sure that you are staying to your highest agenda, because it can happen where even the best person, even the kindest person, even the person with the best intentions can set off to do something for a certain reason. But then things happen, life happens, your perspective shifts. You don't have as much time to focus on your underlying reason for doing something. And that power can become very alluring. And so keeping yourself in check, I think it will be very successful. I think you will have a very, you have a strong pull. I can feel that. What I'm saying is, why are you doing it? Always remember every day, start your day, start before you give sermons or whatever you do, going, I'm here, I step aside for my highest purpose here. So I don't know if that helps, but I do see, like, here, oh wow, that's interesting. I saw the Empress card here with the sun here with the sun, and the Knave of the Knight, I think that's Knight of Pentacles here. That's slow and steady. When you're dealing with people's emotions, spirituality, religion, you have to be very slow and steady and always be the student. Always remember that you're the student of God. You are the student of the divine. You are a student. You are never the leader. You are acting as a conduit. You are acting as a channel, a way for the divine to speak. And making sure that it's always the divine's language, God's language coming through. So I don't know if that helps. I don't know what religion ministry, but with the 3 here, I used to be Catholic, and it's for all the yucky stuff that was going on, that I'm not, but it's not because I don't believe. So with the 3, the Spirit, the Father, the Spirit, and the Holy Ghost, the 3 Trinity. So just keep it up. You know, like it's like I said, be the student. Always remember that you're a student. First and foremost, we are all students of the divine. And some of us are teachers, but we are still the student of the divine. So just remember that with the laboratory, keeping that fresh, what is trying to be brought into you so that you can tell others. And you have a way of communicating right now that other people don't. So make sure that you always hold on to that learning, that fun, that love. Why are you doing this? Okay, so Speak So Well is like, okay, it's time to go. Yep, okay. So we've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, I went over. Okay, not great of me. So I love you guys. And I'm going to start popping up. I'll put a community post out there. And on Thursdays, I go live scheduled 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Same channel. So I hope you guys had fun. I had a really great time, and I will see you again, I hope. Yeah, this is a great community, a great collective, and I love you guys a lot. Okay, thanks for joining. Bye.